Hello and welcome to our new reading lesson, the story of Mother Fletcher's gift. By the end of this session, you should be able to. This is the story cover where you can see the story title, Mother Fletcher's gift, and the author's name, Walter Dean Myers, and the illustrator, William Lowe. Let's start reading. This is page 58. It was rumored that Mother Fletcher was well over 90 years old. So how old was she? She was over 90. So she is a very old woman in the neighborhood. She had become a legend, like a myth, an imaginary, someone who is very famous and everybody knows her on 145 or 145th Street. If anybody, so what is the first? What is the meaning of rumored? It means be circulated as an unverified account. Means a gossip that people say everywhere, but it's not proved as a fact. Okay. If anybody wanted to know what the neighborhood looked like in the 20s, the 20s means 1920. 1920s. Okay? Means like for us now, 100 years ago. So this woman, because she's very old, if anyone wants to know any information about the neighborhood 100 years ago, he should go and ask her. Where Jack Johnson had lived, perhaps, or where James Baldwin's father had preached, Mother Fletcher could tell you. So who are these people? Who is Mother Fletcher? She is a very old woman, that's all. But she knows very famous people who were in the neighborhood. So let's look at what is the meaning of preach first. Preach means deliver, say, speak, a sermon or religious address, like a religious speech. So his father was a preacher in the church, like a priest in the church. So the other word, yes, which is precinct, means an area in the neighborhood. Precinct. This word, precinct, means an area in the neighborhood. Okay, so who are these people? This is Jack Johnson. He was a fighter, a boxer, like you can see here. Okay, never heard of this man, but he is very famous. And James Baldwin. Of course, I know James Baldwin because he was a writer, a playwright, an essayist, and a novelist. I have read one of his very famous and impressive and exquisite novels, Native Son. What do you notice about the people that they are talking about? They are black. So the neighborhood actually is Harlem, and it was the neighborhood of black people. They were crammed in this neighborhood, and many stories and many poems have been written about Harlem, and there were famous people also there. Okay, so let's continue reading. James Baldwin's father had preached. Mother Fletcher could tell you. Petrol Man, this is one of the main characters. So we have Mother Fletcher as the main character, and here this one, Petrol Man, William Michael O'Brien. Okay, so O'Brien is the officer. Patrolman is the officer who goes to inspect the neighborhood, who walks around to inspect the neighborhood. So he was assigned in this place where Mother Fletcher lives. O'Brien had heard about her shortly after his assignment. Assignment means his position, post. He was assigned means he took the charge. He was in charge of this neighborhood. Assignment to the precinct. which is an area in the neighborhood, but it wasn't until nearly 3 months later that he actually met the old woman. This is the same page also. He was on foot, patrol. Patrol means that he is walking around to inspect the place. This is the meaning. An expedition to keep watch over an area, watching over an area, and had stopped to pass. Also, look here, on foot. Sometimes they do this, patrolling in the car, in the police car, and had stopped to pass a few words, to talk a little talk, or to have a little talk with one of the local shopkeepers, when a young black girl, actually O'Brien is not black, a young black girl came running up to him and told him that Mother Fletcher was sick and needed an ambulance. Of course, you know what is the ambulance. Yes. O'Brien knew that in this neighborhood it was nearly impossible to get a doctor who would make house calls. Okay, so in this neighborhood it was very unusual, unfamiliar for a doctor to visit the people in their houses, because this area is dangerous. But he had also been told that sometimes the people used ambulances just to go downtown. So also he knew that he cannot call the doctor, but also he knew that some people do this in order to ride the ambulance and go downtown, means they are going to the center of the town or to the marketplace. This is page 59. These are the meanings. Please, you can pause the video and write the meanings. Okay, he followed the girl into one of the buildings and into a first floor apartment. So she lives in the first floor. Apartment means a flat. The place, let me take this. The place was small but spotless. So what is the meaning of spotless? Means clean or pure. The floor was covered with a linoleum rug. What is the linoleum? This fabric material. Okay, fabric or material, linoleum rug that was worn through in several spots. Worn, you know what is worn? Means that it was cut from, because it's very old and people were just stepping on this carpet. It's something like a carpet, and now it's worn out in several spots. The porcelain in the kitchen sink was discolored. Discolored means that it lost. This is the porcelain, the china, you know, china. Yes, and now these colors were colorless. Okay, faded, discolored, but the brass fixtures, do you remember the word fixtures? Fixture means furniture, fixed furniture, were shining brightly. Brass, this is like copper. She is in here, the girl said, and went into the adjoining room, the other room. This is page 60. Mother Fletcher sat upright in the white sheeted bed. Sheets of the bed were white. Her pale green housecoat, this is what she was wearing, pinned at the neck. Pinned means that she used a pin, you know, this pin. The women use these pins. Yes, pinned at the neck. O'Brien had never seen as black a person in his entire life. O'Brien, we said that O'Brien is a white man, and he had never seen such a black person before. Her skin was a dull ebony. So what is the meaning of ebony? Here, this is the meaning, very black, very dark black color. Actually, the ebony is a kind of wood. And also it's a tree, and it's very black. And usually this ebony is used for furniture and for pianos. That seemed almost purple in the light of the lamp by her bed, so her skin looked purple. Her gray hair, still streaked with wisps of black and thinner on the sides. Yes, means that her hair is gray. It's a little bit of white and black. Still have wisps of black. Streaked means striped, and wisps means strands or small pieces. Okay, of black, and thinner on the sides means that her hair is thin now than on the top. Framed her face, and catching the light made her look like a black version of a painted medieval saint. Yes, saint means like glorious people, okay? Kalaji people. She made, where is it? She was a small person. Means, what is the meaning of a small person? It doesn't mean young, it means small in size. In the delicate way, of course, you know what is delicate, frail way or soft way, that a child is small. But see, in size, here it means here she's small in size, but with the quiet grace of her years, because she's very old. But what stood out most on the old woman were her eyes. So what was special about her eyes? They were, if it was possible, even darker than her skin. So her eyes were even darker than the skin. Black, shiny eyes that darted brightly about. Darted, like, you know, the darts, to look sharply. Here it means look sharply, checking the room for anything that might have been out of place. Page 61. Didn't my great-great-grandchild there tell you I was sick? Mother Fletcher shot a glance in the direction of the girl. I gave her a dime to tell you. So this is the dime. It means 10 cents. Okay? I mean, O'Brien said, what exactly is the matter? How do I know? I am not a doctor. Mother Fletcher pulled the housecoat tighter around her thin shoulders, so she feels cold. Why did he go to an inspector? Because he didn't believe the little girl when she said, call the ambulance. Okay. Now he's asking her, what's your name, please? Mother Fletcher. What's your first name? I am Mother Fletcher, that's all. So this is her first name. This is her old name. Now, are you going to get me an ambulance, or do I have to send that child out for another officer? We can't just call an ambulance anytime someone says to call one, O'Brien said. Yes. Boy, I am not someone, the old woman said. I am Mother Fletcher, and you can call for an ambulance. Means that I am, don't think that I am nobody. No, I am very well known. I am an important person in the neighborhood. I am Mother Fletcher. I am very well known, and you know how to use that radio you got. You know the radio, this this device that they use, the officers. What is your age? O'Brien flipped out his radio and called the emergency network. Flipped out, here these are the meanings. Flip out means become crazy or very angry. So he snatched the radio while he's very angry, and he's asking her, what is your age? Okay. Full grown, came the flat reply. So she doesn't know how old she was, but she's answering in an annoying way. O'Brien stepped into the next room and told the operator. So who is the operator? Like this young girl here, young lady, the operator. What he had. The ambulance arrived some 15 minutes later. Two slim attendants carried the old woman out. You know, these people who work in the ambulance, they took her out. O'Brien wrote up the incident. So what is the meaning of incident? Means event, occurrence. What happened? Something that happened in the neighborhood. So he wrote it up in his book and promptly, quickly put it out of his mind. So quickly he put this out of his mind. He wrote this just a note in the book, and then he doesn't care anymore. A week later, he was called into one of the precinct offices, where a lieutenant and two patrolmen were waiting for him. So we'll see why he was called in this office. Okay, thanks a lot. And if you need anything, this is all for today. Please read the rest of the story. Read as many pages as you can. And if you need any help, just come to me and post them in the discussion room. Thank you.